Rhoda by Timothy Patrick Kimmel Jr. Chapter 11. Shaman's Ghost Story. My rats were haunted by spirits of the dead, seeking to communicate to me as some sort of liaison to the past. A lazy-eyed shaman thing, really hard to describe to normal mortal folk caught up in their mortal coil of life and death, unless they were of a particular spiritual energy they would not understand. I had been elected by the animals to see about their best interests being carried out, and was sure to do a good job with that much faith under my buttocks. Rhoda had told me countless times she used to be human, the knuckle-cracking drumming lulling me into a sense of complacency and off to sleep so she could take advantage of my shape-shifting, skin-walking, shamanic talent and get some. Rat love was a pretty good, kind of like bear sex, but more often, as lady bears only seem to come around once a year or so to get wormed and get another little worm or two of a different sort, often naming her cubs Worm or Wormer when in human guise. They couldn't stay human for long, and I dared not remain in their form outside of procreation, knowing if I did, then I might not be able to change back and into my subsequent forms to please Rhoda and the like. I've always been the king pervert over everything around here. Rhoda and her pack, her rat pack, or pack of rats if you will, her brood, were possessed by three separate entities, at least as far as I can tell, all vying for my attention, in hopes I would kill them, earning their right to be human again, or mate with a human woman, killing them more of an option, but possible anyway, especially around the 4th of July, when spirits are expressly exuberant in a different vein than Halloween, All Hallows Eve being a special requiem for the dead. The dead are especially down for any parties and special occasions, like the Grateful Dead knew how to party, probably still do, and then are grateful indeed. One of them was Eleanor, the little old lady that ran King's Diner and died on my mattress before it was mine. With a Herculean effort, I carried it up from the dumpsters one time to be my burning bed of cocaine, as shamans are wont to do. Her spirit remains became Rhoda's daughter, that after flashing her with death's headlight from my phone, died in my sleep, being squished by my leg. She came around as another of Rhoda's offspring, suffocating in a jerky bag, and taking the name Carnival, because I mistook her for a vole in her last life, and wants to be my wife, apparently. Said we met at Crab Fest last year. I must have hypnotized myself to forget as part of my shamanic practice. The other is a Native American spirit that lived where my camp is a long time ago. They died from some sort of treachery, or just like telling stories. They might even be the ghost of the shaman that lived there before me. Being such a good storyteller and all, it is likely. They died of old age and were eaten by rats, coming back again and again as their offspring, or as part of their burial rites. Rats often eat their dead. Rhododendron rats taste like chicken. They are very human like that. When we first discovered chicken, people said, "Wow, these birds taste like people." A woman piped up, "I guess we don't have to eat people anymore. We can just eat these birds." Somebody else said, "Chicken," and the name stuck. Rats become their relatives when they eat their dead relative. This shaman ghost is caught in a never-ending cycle of being a rat. Rats are good people, though. They taste like people, and that's one way to tell. The other ghost is some 10-year-old kid that old man Phil, some older gentleman that was staying at the shelter, led into the woods as some sort of witchy ritual to watch him lay down and die, so he could absorb his childlike energy as he watched him freeze to death, hoping to live longer when he absorbed the kid's spirit energy as it left his body. I usually do the same thing with plants, but they all live longer for it too, which is like Phil seemed inferior to my shamanic practice of magic and story. These three spirits, or ghosts if you prefer, are haunting me through my rats, touching me late at night and whispering in my ear, telling me they love me in hopes that I will make them human again. They know I'm the one.